Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the ChessPunks Awards. We do this every year, honor ChessPunks from around the world. I want to thank first Geert for joining us to be my co-host for today's awards. Thank you so much, Geert. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks so much for inviting me. I'm so happy to be a part of this, and I'm really looking forward to announcing the winners, but also to some of that other stuff that we're going to be talking about a little bit later in the broadcast.
Yeah, so just to explain the other stuff, we're going to do two things during this show. We're scheduled for an hour, not sure it'll take a full hour, but we're going to walk through the awards, and we actually have the award winners are going to be able to join us live on stage. So that's exciting. So we'll walk through the four winners. The last one will be best game, and we'll actually have Geert walk through the game with the winner. And then after all the awards are communicated, we're going to talk about our first ever sponsored tournament for the ChessPunks. It's going to be sponsored by Chess.com. Geert's going to be helping me talk through the details. I'm super excited about that. It's something I've been wanting to do for years, and it's finally going to happen. So just a quick backstory on ChessPunks. It was started with 10 of us on Twitter in 2018. 10 adults who were working on their chess and found each other on Twitter and wanted a community, and we created a hashtag, and it's really grown into hundreds and thousands of people since then in the last few years. We ended up creating these ChessPunk Awards. This is our third year running. There are 4 categories. So I'm going to announce 2 of the winners. Geert's going to announce 2 of the winners. The process for the awards, just to give everyone clarity on that, I pick the categories. I pick the 3 judges each year, and I help encourage ChessPunks to nominate people. And then the 3 judges, with no instruction from me whatsoever, pick the winners. And then I just say, however you decided, let me know who they are at the end of July. And then every August, we announce the winners as we are this year. So I want to, without any further ado, I want to announce our first winner. The first one that we're going to do is going to be Susan Polgar winning Honorable ChessPunk Award. And Susan, I want to talk about her with one of the quotes from the judges. It says, what I love most about Susan is how much of a champion she is at life. Given everything she has had to endure in her career, she could have easily cocooned herself, cut herself off from other people. Instead, she's the exact opposite. She pours herself into our community and gives selflessly of her time and encourages everyone. And I just want to say personally, Susan, I think it's an honor. I mean, you're an honorary ChessPunk now, but I'm saying it's an honor to be with you. It's an honor to have you with us. I absolutely love your books. I am really encouraged to see how you engage with people at all levels of the ChessPunks community. That's not true of all chess greats. And so I just want to say thank you. And I think you're so deserving. I'm so glad the judges chose you, and hand the floor over to you for a moment.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm very honored, and I want to say a shout out for everybody, all the ChessPunks. It's been a pleasure. And what happened was, when I was a younger and developing young player, and there were so many greats that were kind to me, most memorably Misha Tal, that when I was still, far away from being a grandmaster, and he took his time and was kind to me and even played blitz with me. And I never forgot where I came from, and I wanted to pay it forward. So it's my great pleasure to give some tips here and there, and be part of the ChessPunks community. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I never ever joined the group for any recognition or award. It was just to pay it forward, and I'm glad that I can help out a bit.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I know you are traveling the world these days. I have a really cool little ChessPunks medallion. If we could ever find a location to send it to, I will send that to you. And Geert, I think you want to say a few words.
Thank you so much.
Just so happy that you were able to actually make the time, Susan, to join us live on broadcast with everybody. I know it means a lot to a lot of people because they really appreciate all the things that you've been sharing. with them over the years, and especially the last year, obviously. And that's being recognized for good. And we hope you will continue to engage with all those improvers out there who are looking to get better at chess. And you have a great story to share with them, and obviously also a lot of great chess knowledge. So please keep doing what you're doing, and thanks so much for making the time to join us.
Thank you. And actually, the ChessPunks have inspired me to start the chess tips that I'm doing now on Twitter as well, because there it now Elon Musk allowed information to be easily stored and found. So hopefully it helps other chess fans who want to improve. So I'm trying to do what I can.
Thank you so much, Neal.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you for coming.
Okay.
On.
Take care. Keep up the.
Thank you. All right, Neal. Do you want to talk about this next category that we're going to be announcing, and why you chose to create that category?
Yeah, and before we even do that, I knew that we only had Susan for a few minutes, so I wanted to make sure that we got her live to be able to accept the award. I'm going to back up for a second, and I'm going to talk through the judges and just spend a little bit of time mentioning who they are. I did it in reverse order because I knew we only had a few minutes before Susan. But I want to do that, and then we'll talk about the next category. That's okay. So the judges this year are people who are very well known in the ChessPunks community. I try to find exemplars every year, and they're often people who have won in past years. In fact, that was true. All of these three won ChessPunks awards last year. So Megan, who's very well known in the ChessPunks community, she's one of our judges. Omar, everyone I think knows, and then Kevin, who also may be better known as Dr. Skull. He's got the his podcast as well. And I just want to say a big thank you to Megan, Omar, and Kevin for their effort. It's we get dozens and dozens of people who get nominated for every category, and it's a bit of work to do that and pick a finalist between them. So I really want to say thank you to them. And they were not eligible for this year because they were the judges, and yet all of them I think got nominated again this year. So like I will not make them judge next year. They will be eligible again next year. So if you want to, you can vote for Megan and Omar and Kevin again. You can win more than one time. So going over to the next one, the next category, we're going to talk about best content creator, and Geert's going to give that award out. But I just want to say I created Honorary Chesspunk because there are so many people like Susan who are titled players, who are world-class players who engage with the Chesspunks. I wanted a way to recognize them. This one is more for us in doing the daily grind. People who are working, but frankly do more than I do. They're really chess content creators. People who will often have live streams and YouTube videos and engage with the larger community and create great content. So I wanted to have an award for those people, and I'm going to have Geert talk a little bit about it, and then he'll be announcing the winner as well.
Yeah, the story behind this creator is really great because she started playing chess maybe 2 years ago and has already reached a chess.com rapid rating of over 2,000, which I actually haven't accomplished in years and years and years of playing chess. And so I'm a little bit jealous, but at the same time, I find that story super inspiring. When we get her on the show in a minute, then she can tell a little bit more about that story. I personally, obviously, chess content creation is a topic that's near and dear to my heart, right? So, as the head of Chessable and like having worked with like so many different creators who are creating content for our platform for other people to study, I know that stories of people who improve at chess, especially people who rapidly improve at chess, are very inspiring to others, and that is partially why I think, Neal, you created this category specifically, because it's important for other people who are also trying to get better at chess to have somebody to look up to. So that's why we chose this person this year.
Why don't you go ahead and announce the winner for us?
Okay, so the winner of Best Content Creator ChessPunk Award 2023 is Cameron Hellman.
Welcome. Thank you so
Hi,
much
thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.
Hi, Cameron.
Thank
I love
you.
your background.
Hi.
It's
Oh, thank you. I had to go all out for the content creator stuff.
it's really nice. How do you feel about winning this year's um, Content Creator ChessPunk Award?
I'm honestly just so surprised and honored. It's been like just a huge whirlwind these last couple of months, starting when I first posted my first ever YouTube video about reaching a rating of 2000 on chess.com after 2 years. And ever since then, I've been creating more content and I've just been so overwhelmed with positivity. It's just been amazing, specifically from the ChessPunks community. The judges also, like, just to thank them for choosing me for this. It's really such an honor. I've had the opportunity to connect with all of them in various ways through the community, and so the ChessPunks has just been so positive and uplifting. And so, to anybody who nominated me or has just been supportive as I dove into the content creation journey and sharing my own story, I just want to say a huge warm thank you. It's not often you find a community like this on the internet, especially these days. And so I'm just very grateful to be a part of it. And I hope to continue making the best content that I can well into the future.
Yeah, I really personally I love the story so much, and also, I mean, you started playing chess, right? From scratch, learned how to play the game 2 years ago, started to get better at
Yes.
chess, and now you share your story, but you're also trying to get even better than you were before at chess. So this is an ongoing journey for you. You're not done because now you teach chess. There's many things that you do there, right? So you started 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Here we are, and what's next?
Well, yeah, I mean, over 2 years ago, I could have never imagined how much chess would be such a huge part of my life right now. It's just crazy to look back on how many things have just sort of fallen into my path. But yeah, in my local community, I coach scholastic beginners and I help out with tournaments. And I'm also just involved in playing and obviously just helping out in various ways around my community. So my next sort of goal is not so much a rating goal, but it is just to improve my over the board play, because that is a completely different beast, as many people know, than playing online. And so that's sort of the plan going forward. And then also to get my blitz and bullet ratings up there a little bit too.
A lot to work on.
Yes.
Well,
Great.
you may know that Andras Toth won in the past this category, so you're in great company with Best Content Creator. And it's a very competitive, as you can imagine, a very competitive category because there are so many. There are hundreds of people associated with the ChessPunks community that either write books or they do a lot on Twitter or they do stuff on YouTube like you do. And so it's really it's great that the judges selected you as our winner this year. Really psyched for that.
Yeah, I'm just absolutely honored. There's so many other like candidates that would have definitely floated to the top of my list as well. So yeah, just as I've been creating stuff that I would have found helpful, I'm just glad that other people have found it helpful as well. And yeah, it's just been so great to be a part of this community and make so many of these connections.
There's some people in chat who would like to know where they can find your content, Cameron, and potentially also where you've shared your story before. Can you tell us where we can find you online?
Yeah, so on pretty much all platforms, I'm at Cameron Heidi, KamrynHeidi. So that's Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and at the top of my YouTube page is the video that's documenting my story, and that's probably the video that I made that I'm the most proud of. It was essentially a year in production as I was recording, myself hitting different milestones along the way, and then a lot of editing that went into it at the very end. So I would suggest starting there if you want to learn a little bit more about my story. I'm also going to be on an upcoming episode of Daniel Lona's The Chess Experience, he's also a great content creator. So I'm sharing a bit of my story on there as well. So podcast stuff, the works.
Great. We've shared a link in chat on Twitch for those of you who are following the show on Twitch, and so you can find that there. Also, you can go to twitch.tv/Cameron Heidi if you want to subscribe to Cameron's channel or follow what she's up to in the future. So, Cameron, thanks so much for coming on this show, and we must continue with the following two guests that we still have lined up. But thanks so much for making the time for joining us, and good luck with your journey. What's next? 2100, 2200, 2400?
Slowly working my way up. Yeah, just as far as I can possibly go.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Congrats and again and good luck.
Thank you.
Neal, do you want to set us up for the next category that we're going to be discussing? Okay.
So the next category is most encouraging chess punk, and I personally think this is kind of, in some ways, the most dear to my heart of all the awards, because it's really why we created the ChessPunks. Is we wanted a safe place where people could feel like they could get encouragement. I mean, I know that after I played my wife a few times and my kids a few times in chess, they weren't going to play with me anymore, and so that wasn't going to be a sense of regular encouragement. And so I was so excited that I met a bunch of other people on Twitter, and really the foundation of ChessPunks was because we were excited to be together, but also we were encouraging each other. And I think others have said this too, that in a world where encouragement is not always the norm, I wanted to identify people who are incredibly encouraging and to recognize them in a special way every single year. And we've had great people in the past who have won. In fact, Omar was the winner last year, and he was one of our judges this year, and he wrote something really sweet about our winner this year. So I'm not sure if we're teed up and ready to go yet to announce our winner. Okay, cool. So we are. I got someone in my ear.
Just to give a quick context, when you say Omar, you mean Chess Von Doom, correct?
Chess Von Doom, correct.
That's who we should be looking for online. So just in case you guys are curious about our judges, we'll share some stuff on Twitter later as well. But yeah, we're ready with our new guest. So let's bring her on.
So the winner for this year is Solveig. I want to make sure I get to pronounce your name correctly. How should I pronounce it?
Solveig. But it was a very good try. You know, it's a very Scandinavian name, so it's not so easy.
Can I attempt? Can I make an attempt?
Please, you've got to do better than me.
So you said Solveig, is that it?
Yeah. I think very good attempts.
Probably not.
As I said, it's hard to pronounce it. So
yeah.
Rookie Redhead, it's maybe easier.
Rookie Redhead is easier.
I'm so glad to have you here and to have you win this award. I frankly guessed that you would win this award before I even announced this year's categories, just because of you're so encouraging, you're so active on all these different chess channels, and you're just a breath of fresh air. I want to read something that Omar, I asked the judges to write up a little something for each person on why they were chosen, and Omar wrote this after he played his game with you. He said, after the game, and I think he had lost that game, he said, when the armchair chess player started to criticize my play against her, she was the one who came to my defense. She's a real sweetheart, always thinking of others ahead of herself. And so Omar clearly thinks that you're incredibly encouraging. I feel like you're an exemplar of encouragement. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for all you do with ChessPunks and give you a chance to say a few words.
Thank you so much. I got very touched by all of this, so I'll just try to gather myself a little bit. But yeah, it's just very nice to be here with you guys today, and also with the people that are watching. And I just wanted to say, a huge thanks to the ChessPunks community for nominating me, and also, of course, to the judges for selecting me to this award. I just feel like it's really special to win something because of your personality, because that is not every day, you know. So I just feel like the ChessPunks is a very special group of people. The group is just so welcoming and kind, and you know, I never experienced any place on the internet with less negativity and hate. So sometimes it's just like, wait, is this the internet, or what's going on, you know? And also, it was so easy to get connected with the ChessPunks. Like, I never even used Twitter. And then I just posted a random picture of my chessboard with hashtag ChessPunks. And then immediately I was able to connect with, adult chess improvers from all over the world. And it was so easy. I was just baffled. And yeah, it's just a really awesome way to get connected with other people with the same passion, And I just wanted to use this opportunity actually to say a couple of words about, the importance of encouragement. And for me, at least, it seems like sometimes the internet is just so full of hate, and it's just important to remember that many people are struggling right now, with isolation, with loneliness, with the economic and housing situation, mental health issues, conflicts. And I just think that more than ever, it's really important to just take the time to encourage each other, So if someone is struggling, reach out, or if someone posts something you like, just give them, an encouraging reply. And this could really make someone's day a lot better, and it could mean a lot more to them than what you might think. And yeah, it just seems like many forces right now are just pulling us, a little bit apart from each other. So I just think we should do what we can to try to take care of each other. And I at least think that one of the beautiful aspects about chess is, and this is, the passion that all of us share. It's just that I feel like this game has an inherent ability to bring people together. So I think we should just honor that and try to just encourage each other and be there for each other. And yeah, before I end this, I just want to give a special shout out and thanks to Kevin, aka Dr. Skull, a ChessPunk, and if it wasn't for him, I would not be a Twitter user. I would not be a part of the ChessPunks community, and I would probably not be a chess streamer either, because it was the ChessPunks that encouraged me to dare to do streaming, because I actually thought it was very scary to do it. So, Kevin, I appreciate you a lot for recruiting me to the ChessPunks, and I will do my best to try to recruit more people to this awesome space. So yeah,
I couldn't have said it better myself. You perfectly worded, and you can see the reaction in chat. Also, people are loving what you're saying, and it resonates with me personally also, because I kind of went through that journey as well as an adult improver when I first found that community of adult improvers and people who were trying to get better at chess. And I saw a comment in chat there where people were saying, like, do I have to prove that I actually got better at chess? Because that might be kind of hard. But that's not the point, right? Like, the point of playing chess is because we love the game and because we want to get better at it. But nobody's going to check your rating graph to see if you're a chess punk who's improving or not. It's about participating in the conversation. It's about trying to become a better player, but also by being a part of the community. And by sharing with others, encouraging others to get better at the game, we also become better human beings. And so that's kind of, for me at least, what this is about. And so the way that you summarized how important it is to be encouraging and open and on it, and openly and publicly, and how that can help other people to also get into the game of chess, which is what we all want. That's a great message to give to everybody. Neal, did you have anything to add to that, or you're looking really?
Yeah, I'm just proud of what we've created, an environment where people see the power of encouragement as something that can really be a positive force in the world. So thank you so much for all you do, and I'm sure we'll continue to do. And I do feel like you're an exemplar of encouragement, and so thank you.
I appreciate this so much. Thank you so much. Really made my day, my week, my month, everything. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Yay. Before we let you go, can you tell people where they can find you? online and how to give you more encouragement?
My handle is Rookie Redhead pretty much everywhere. So I'm active on Twitter, or I don't know, do we say X now? I'm not sure. And also on Twitch. And yeah, I recently also created an Instagram, but that's very small right now. But post more personal day-to-day stuff there. So yeah, Rookie Redhead.
So people, go give Rookie Redhead a follow on all the socials, and that's where you can connect with her on more good chess stuff. And with that, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks so much for coming on the broadcast. And then Neal, we have one more guest coming on before we go to the big reveal. And this next guest has something really cool to share. So let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's take a moment though before we switch, because you brought up Rookie Redhead. Like, does everyone know the backstory of your handle on Twitter?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh,
because if they look for Geert, they may not find you.
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is Black Atlantic, and that's because in a previous life I was a musician, and so I recorded albums and I toured the world. And actually, that was my start in chess. Was besides my mom teaching me the game, I started becoming an adult improver, if you will, before I even knew what that word meant. While I was touring with one of my bands, and I met this other guy in another band who was studying chess, and he was playing chess, and like we would connect. Our bands were on tour, and we would connect before our shows to play some games. And in the beginning, like it was kind of going back and forth, and then I would see him. A few months later, we would play another show together, and then he started beating me, and I was like, "What the heck's going on?" And then I asked him, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm reading chess books. I learned the Caro-Kann." I'm like, "What's the Caro-Kann?" I had no idea about any of this stuff. And then that kind of started my journey. So yeah, my history as a musician also meant that I had a lot of time to kill. While you're in a van or on a plane or whatever, you travel a lot, and so I took to chess because it was a great thing to do while I was on the road, and because it allowed me to play with other people from time to time. So that's where the name comes from. It's one of the names of one of my former bands.
Yeah, I have a much less exciting and exotic reason for being Neal Bruce BC. Neal Bruce was taken, and I was forced through one of my tech classes to create a Twitter account and like try to get 10 followers. And so I did Neal Bruce BC because I'm not a very original person for Boston College, and it is. I heard that it's easier to get followers if you only focus on one thing. So I said I like chess, so I guess I'll like create a chess focused account, and I'm so glad I did. It was an awesome experience. So we'll move to our final award, which is Game of the Year. Which who wouldn't want to have Greatest Game of the Year award? Like that's pretty awesome. So I'll hand it over to Geert to go through some of the details.
Yeah, well, the winner of this Game of the Year award is someone who I know from Twitter because he's always posting about chess openings and chess games, and he's always talking about this stuff. So I think he's pretty stoked that he won this year's Game of the Year award. Our winner is Nick Weissel. So congratulations, Nick.
Hey, thanks, Geert. Thanks, Neal. I'm really, really honored to receive this award. I was really surprised to get it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And I guess what we should do is probably jump into the game and show people what this game was all about. So we've preloaded it here, and maybe you can talk us through, Nick, while I make some moves, and then you tell me when you want to go back or forward or whatever, and give us the context, right? Because this was an over-the-board game that you played, correct?
Yeah, so I played this guy multiple times, OTB, and like one of the first games that we played, I like lost really badly. And all the other games we had played before, he had the black pieces, so I was really interested and kind of excited about what he was going to play with white. And so I did a little bit of prep as best as I could, and I thought that I might see like an Italian game, and then he just opened with 1c4, and I was almost immediately out of book. So it was kind of it was very interesting right from the beginning of the game.
you chose a line, which we'll see in a sec, that actually was recommended to me like by Anish Giri at some point when I was talking to him, when I asked him like, what do you think is a good line to play against the English? And then this variation that you played is the one that he said is a really good one to play because it's very, very solid and it's very logical. So you replied with e5, right? And then here comes g3, and then you played c6 here right away. And the idea here is to like take over the center, but I guess it's also to kind of block that bishop that's about to go to g2, right? So
Right.
can you walk us through a few more of these next moves?
Yeah, sure. So I should get the game up because I don't have it up currently. There we
Okay,
go.
so
Okay, so I'll flip it real quick. Sorry.
no
Where's
worries. We
the
can
flip
see
button?
we have it up on Twitch as well, so folks can see the moves here. So we're
Yeah.
at bishop g2, and then you
Yep.
played d5, and pawn was taken, and so
Yeah.
now you have the center. And I guess he's going to try and break down your center really quick. Which indeed happened here, and this was already kind of a blunder. So
Yeah.
you took, and now we have a game. What were you thinking at this point? Like you took that pawn.
Yeah. So
What?
after knight c3, I was thinking that he's probably just improvising at this point. So I felt like e4 wasn't a really good move to respond with because of that really bad d pawn. So when he played knight c3, I thought that it was kind of an interesting idea to basically try to develop at the same time, but I just felt like it wasn't as accurate as just taking back immediately. So I ended up just developing. I was trying to like play a normal game at this point because I was completely out of book. So, but I also felt like I already had some long-term prospects because of the d3 square just being so weak. So I was really focused on just getting my development finished or whatnot, not even trying to hold on to the pawn, because though I could have, I thought about it, but I felt like it was a little greedy, so I ended up not holding on to the pawn. But I could have played f5 here, and that would
fair enough.
Sorry, f5 a couple moves ago. Yeah.
So he takes the pawn, and then you play f5, right? So the idea here is like just to develop the pawn, so that you can make sure your knight gets to f6 with the pawn in front of it, which is always a good idea. But as you can see here, there's a little question mark there because we ran the game through game review, and in fact, there's an interesting move here, which Chess.com's game review recommends, which is that you should have played knight b4 after this. So if we go back, then here the idea is knight b4, and then there's all sorts of tactics already being set up here. So because the knight is gonna come to the d3 square there with the check. So that's a interesting idea. But let's move forward into the game a little bit. So so he moves the knight back. So you got what you wanted. You can keep going. So your knight goes to f6, and he played a3, which is probably a bit slow. And now you develop your bishop, and you're ready to castle. And at this point, like, were you guys even on time, or were you already ahead of time, or what was the?
I think I was. Yeah, so I have my scorebook here where I took, because I record all the times for my games because I think that's a good way to see how well you're doing and whether or not you're it's just a good way to track your time, right? So I think at this point I was already a little bit ahead on time because he was starting to try to figure out the problems of his position, how to deal with the d3 square. So
he's got a few of them.
I can't find I can't find the score right now, so I guess we can move past. But I remember him thinking of I remember being up on the clock because his issues were just becoming worse and worse. So
it's interesting though, because after a really good opening in this game, he gets back into the game. So I'm gonna keep clicking through a few moves, and this is an interesting move because your queen went to d3 just to basically block up his piece development there, right? You're just saying like that pawn on d2 isn't going anywhere, and your pieces are stuck in the back rank there for a little while at least. So, but he's forcing your bishop to go back, and now he gets his bishop to b2, which is my favorite square for a bishop, as you know, and And okay, so we're developing here. Pieces are coming in. That was a nice move, right? This backwards knight move to kick your queen out, and now he's freeing himself up. So here everything's still kind of going according to plan. And so here you're trying to trade bishops, which uh, I guess he's saying no, no, no. You can take my bishop, and I can develop my knights here. There's an interesting move though with this knight b3. Um,
Hmm.
so let's move forward a little bit because you can see this was a good move. Like here, you traded bishops. His knight has to go back. All your pieces are developed. You have a strong center, and now here you're trying to trade off more pieces, basically trying to create some weakness in White's camp here by trading off that light squared bishop, so that there's this like gaping hole around the White's king there. And here he
Yep.
attacks your queen, and you still have a good thing. Pieces are traded, so now you have what you wanted, right? You have this light square weakness around the king, and he pins your knight to the king. And so we're entering an interesting middle game. Everything's going well. The game continues. You attack the queen, drops back. This is a good move. And let's continue for a few more moves here because you're at some point here really interesting. And I want to show this moment where you playing with all this initiative and your pieces are just super active. You can see that White's pieces here on the back rank are just kind of sleeping behind their pawns.
Mhm.
Those rooks are not looking very happy, and that knight on b2 is very inactive versus your knight there on e4. So you've played a great game up until this point. And here I just want to let you take over for a second. Like tell us so this is where he starts to push and starts to attack you. Like what are you thinking with this knight move? What's the idea?
Yeah, so my first thought was that the f3 square and the h3 square both look like good squares for the
Mhm.
knight. The other thing that I immediately noticed was that by pushing this pawn to d3, he cut off his queen from the defense of the king side. So
Yeah.
I was looking to basically set up an attack because he doesn't have very many defenders. All he has is, I mean, the rook on f1 is kind of a defender if you think of f2
Mhm.
as a potential target square, which wasn't necessarily the target that I was looking for. So when I played knight g5, I was just looking to get the knight to a good square, like the f3 square was just looked like a really good place to put the knight, and because of that pawn on d3, it just looked like a really good place for the knight. So it was more of an intuitive move than calculation based.
Yeah, looks like a good positional move, right? You're moving the knight to a place where it can attack the king basically on the next move, and you can
Yep.
bring more pieces into the game. So he
Mm-hmm.
played this move, which is interesting, and now you go straight for the check. And so here, after this move, the king attacks your knight, and you had an idea here.
Yeah, sack the knight.
Yeah, and
Because
I think for a lot of people, like in chat, especially here, like they might not instantly like see this move, but it's a pretty cool move. Did you see that move before you played Knight f3? Was this your plan to play boom Knight h4 check?
So I hadn't expected h4 when he played it, because to me it didn't seem like a viable move. So
Mhm.
intuitively I didn't do anything. I didn't think anything of it. So, but when he played king g2, to me knight h4 was kind of obvious because the king doesn't have very many squares to escape. And if he moves to the f3 square at some point, my pawns are right in front of him. The queen is coming to h4. There are so many good places for my pieces to go if he plays a move like h4. So I didn't really think of it very much. But when he saw h4, the sacrifice immediately jumped out to me that I should play that because
You
I'm
still
getting rid
have
of
to
the last of
calculate.
his pawn cover.
Yeah, but you still got to calculate, right? So okay, so
Oh, totally, yeah.
he took back, and now your plan is just to make sure that king doesn't go anywhere, right?
Right.
So he's trying to make room here for his king to escape, and it gets a
Mm-hmm.
little tricky here at this point. Um, so this idea here is to just bring the rook over, but funny enough, right? Like this move seems very natural to me. But funny enough, like it's not the best move. I guess Queen G5 is a better move here. But he responded by playing this move, and here now it's basically just all over. Like you have this move, Rook G6 with check, and now you're just forcing the king to stay in the pocket. So you take, the king goes back, check, the king moves over, you take that pawn, that king has nowhere to go, and then you have this beautiful finish here, which people have to see. Boom, the king has to go back, the rook swings over, and now this is where the game was already over, but just to show everybody how the game is going to finish, the king has to step up, and then it's checkmate over here. I think your last played move was this move, right? Queen F2.
Yeah, that's when he resigned.
Yeah, because checkmate's coming. Great game. And I think rightfully, and also what's awesome is this was an opponent who was much higher rated than you. So, well done. And I think very instructive game for most people to watch. Let's see what we've got going on in chat here. Yeah, people love the game. Great job, man. And so game of the year for the ChessPunk Game of the Year award goes to you this year, Nick. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Neal, you have anything to add?
I love the knight sack. I love the attack. I don't really care if computers can find moves that humans can't. You just brought the pressure, and he collapsed, and that's what generally happens. So really proud of you. I know you've been working hard on your chess, Nick, in that game it shows. So a great combination of great space. I'm a big space fan. So like you had total control over the center. You had this isolated pawn, and he fell for the. I don't know why he played. The H pawn, but like that just gave you. It's like, how do you not sack that knight? And then you got a rook and queen, another rook coming. So great, great poise. How much time did you have on the clock when you were done?
Okay, so I stopped counting on move 29. So at G takes H4. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side. I stopped counting on move 31, so after rook G6 check. So I had 10 minutes left. I would probably guess that I had like 3 or 4 minutes left by the end of the game, because I was trying to be really careful about making sure that I actually mated the king. So,
and what was the time control?
It was a 60 plus 15, so 60 minutes with a 15-second increment. So not a really long game.
But still, like that's a great example for everyone else who wants to someday win Game of the Year. Use all your time. Like I see so many games over the board where half of the room's empty halfway through the time control, and that means somebody's like playing too fast. So great job on the game, great job on your time management, great job on all the work you're putting in. It's clearly working, so congrats.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, Neal, I guess we're going to have to head over for these last 15 minutes of our broadcast to reveal your dream of having a PogChamps-like tournament for adult improvers. And it's going to be called ChessPunk Champs. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, I will just say that I appreciate there have been chess tournaments done by ChessPunks in the past. It's all been volunteer effort, and it's been a bit of a bit of an effort that it's just tough. It's tough to do this stuff part-time. And so when I reached out to Danny, I was really hopeful that he would be supportive of a ChessPunks tournament that was sponsored by chess.com. He was super excited. He got you and I connected, Geert, on the logistics of it. And I think it's an incredible opportunity, and you're going to walk through some of the process steps, but the opportunity for a bunch of chess punk players to be in a chess.com sponsored tournament is really a dream for us. So I want you to walk through. We're going to have a qualifier tournament, because there's going to be a combination of some invitational spots and mostly qualifier spots. But why don't you walk through some of the details for us, Geert?
Okay, so the tournament we'll go into next, but first let's talk about the qualifiers. On September 16th and 17th, inside the official ChessPunks club on chess.com, which you can find if you go to chess.com/clubs and you type in ChessPunks. There's two. One is official. It has the green check mark behind it. That's the one started by Neal. That's the one you got to join. When you join that club, you can play either on September 16th or 17th or both. And you can participate in a 9-round Swiss tournament. The time control is 10 minutes plus 2 seconds. And the top 3 finishers in each qualifier, right? And this is per rating category. So essentially, there are 4 mini tournaments. If your rating is between 0 and 1299 chess.com on the day that you join the tournament, then you play in that rating tournament. And if your rating on the day that you join the tournament is 1301 or it is 1699, then you're in that bracket. So there are 4 mini tournaments, and each tournament qualifies you for one specific rating bracket later in the main ChessPunks champs. So essentially what we're doing is we're doing 4 tournaments in one, and each tournament is for a specific rating bracket. And we did that specifically because we feel that players of a certain playing strength, like they're sometimes different in strength, but like we tried to kind of group people together in a way that like they're fairly evenly matched, right? Because this is not just about playing, it's also about playing against competition that you can learn from. And if you're going to play somebody who's 500-600 rating points above you, it's kind of a given that you're going to lose that game. But if you're playing against somebody who's maybe 100-200 points above you, then there's a real chance that you might win that game. So there's like a real learning opportunity here. So even the qualifiers are set up in a way that you can learn from your games. The time control is reasonable, right? 10 minutes plus 2 seconds increment per game. So you can have a really great time playing. And then, okay, if you finish top 3, you will then qualify to participate in the ChessPunks Champs tournament, which will take place on October 22nd. So let's move to that slide. Here we go, October 22nd. And you can see the time there, right, guys? So on October 22nd, we're going to have a full broadcast similar to this one, where we're going to have commentary, and these games are going to be commentated on chess.com, and the ChessPunks Champs is going to be a knockout tournament. And as everybody knows who's read my recent tweets, I'm a big fan of the knockout format. I think knockout is the way to go. And this is really exciting because it's going to be an 8-player single elimination. Everybody gets to play in the so in this 8-player, it's going to be 8-player, 4 players, 2 players for the finals, and everybody's going to get to play each other twice, black and white. The time control is a bit longer. It's going to be 15 minutes and 5 seconds, and there's going to be no draw offers allowed. And then, as you can see, the rating categories there are the same as previously in the qualifier. So if you qualify in a specific rating bracket, let's say 0 to 1299, then it could be that your rating goes up after that, but essentially you are going to be participating in the 0 to 1299 rating bracket tournament on that day. Now, what happens in between? There's something interesting.
Sorry, I was going to say, so we're not going to punish you if you get better. Like whatever you qualified for in the qualifiers, that's what you're going to play in for the final. Sorry, Geert.
Yeah, so exactly. So but now there's something interesting, because as you saw on the qualifier slide, the qualifiers are at least a month ahead of the actual tournament. And this is where it gets cool, because once you've qualified to participate in ChessPunks Champs, you have a whole month to prepare, and we're going to connect you with a coach, professional coach. And so for a month long, you're going to get professional coaching from a coach. You're going to get so now let's go to the prizes and benefits slide, right? So next one, there we go. So once you've qualified for ChessPunks Champs, you're going to have 4 weeks at least to train for this tournament in your rating bracket. You're going to get coaching by a professional coach, us supplying this for you. You're going to get a 1-year Diamond membership to chess.com and a 1-year Chessable Pro membership. So anybody who qualifies already wins, because you get coaching, you get these memberships, etc. And then if you perform well in the actual tournament, we're going to have prizes for you. So we're going to have a total of $10,000 worth of Chessable courses available for everybody participating in the ChessPunks Champs, and especially for the winners. The farther you get in the knockout tournament, the bigger the prizes for you. And then also, we have this one other cool idea, which is rather than giving you cash, once you've qualified in the qualifiers, you're going to have to hand us a chess improvement plan post ChessPunks Champs tournament. And based on that chess improvement plan, if you get far enough into the ChessPunks Champs tournament, you could qualify to actually get a cash stipend supplied and sponsored by chess.com to execute your chess improvement plan. So maybe in the future you want to play some tournament and you need some help by, post ChessPunks Champs tournament, hiring a coach. This chess stipend is going to allow you to do that. So not only are you going to have resources, Chessable courses, pro membership, diamond membership, you're also going to get a little bit of cash to put towards your dream of improving as a chess improver. So that kind of summarizes everything that we put together as a prize package. People are already asking like, oh, who are going to be commentating on the games? We have a few really great personalities in mind, but we haven't confirmed them yet. But we will announce more things. Just keep following the hashtag ChessPunksChamps. Become a member of the chess.com ChessPunks Club. We're going to keep you updated there. And if you're there in the next couple of weeks, you're going to get more information from us, and we will keep you updated. And then one thing I guess we have to clarify. So the qualifiers are going to give us 24 players who are going to qualify by playing and finishing top 3 in each rating bracket. But then, Neal, you also wanted to invite an additional 8 players based on, all these different facets that you think is important for the ChessPunks community. And those 8 players, you've already picked them, but we're not going to announce them yet. We're going to save that for the ChessPunks Club. We're going to announce and also for social media. So guys, keep following ChessPunks Champs and keep following hashtag ChessPunks on Twitter, especially to find out who we're going to invite to play in the tournament. So we're going to have 8 players invited, 24 players qualified, and that's going to make up the 32 players playing in ChessPunks Champs this year. Did I get it all?
I think you got a ton of it. So yeah, Geert and I took a lot of time back and forth to try to create an awesome event, and we didn't want it to be a pure invitational event. We didn't want it to be a pure qualifier event. We ended up with a hybrid. So 2 of the 8 slots per section are going to be invitations, and the other 6, the majority, are going to be qualifiers. So you're going to see some names of people that and will hopefully be cheering for, and there'll be plenty of slots for people who are going to want to join the event. This is the first one. We hope to make this an annual event. Just as you were talking about it, Geert, I just was so full of pride, so happy. I can tell everyone, having a professional organization like chess.com to support us as ChessPunk members, it's night and day difference. To have the professional coaches, to have the professional commentators, just all the logistics behind the scenes. It takes an army to pull off one of these tournaments in a professional way, and I'm just so grateful for chess.com being willing to do all this, plus give some amazing prizes. So Geert, thank you for your team and your company's support for all we're doing.
Yeah, totally our pleasure. And shout out to the broadcast team who picked up on this and are helping us realize this show. Shout out to everybody from the chess.com team, and especially Danny Wrench, obviously, for connecting us all together and saying like, oh yeah, we got to do this, and who took this on 100%. So we're super excited to launch this new tournament, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out, and especially also I'm really looking forward to seeing that month of training where hopefully people are going to share on socials how their coaching is going, and we're going to try and share clips from those coaching sessions with people as well, so that you actually have access to that content in those lessons and etc. So a lot of great stuff coming, and I think with that maybe we should say one more time, go to chess.com/clubs, find the ChessPunks Club, join the ChessPunks Club so that you can participate in the qualifiers on September 16th and 17th in your rating bracket. Also, create a Twitter account, start following hashtag ChessPunks, and especially start following Neal Bruce BC on Twitter. And then hopefully we'll see you guys on the 16th and 17th of September. And hopefully we'll have a great time playing. And with that, I think we can say goodbye, right?
Yeah, I just want to say one last time to the winners, to Susan Polgar, to Cameron, to Solveig, to Nick. Way to go winning ChessPunk Awards this year. You are all great representations and exemplars of the ChessPunks community. And Geert, thanks, buddy. Thanks for all the prep work we did. Thanks for a great award show, and thanks for supporting the tournament.
Yes, sir. And with that, thanks everybody also in chat. You guys are great. Thanks for the positivity. As Solveig said, like, keep up the positivity, and we'll see you guys on the 16th or 17th of September in the qualifiers.